Hello to everyone. My name is NC Lightworker and welcome to the Black Off Grid YouTube channel. I'm going to be sharing my journey towards a self-reliant lifestyle by building an off-grid homestead. Now mind you, I am not an expert by any means. Therefore, I do not respond to any questions, comments, or emails because as a lightworker, I am only here to present the information. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to post your location in the intro video to this channel because you may be able to link up with like-minded people in your area. Thank you for tuning in, and let's get started. Self-reliance is the act of taking full responsibility as it relates to food, water, shelter, self-defense, defense of property, medical, and hygiene. In the video titled Homesteading 101, How to Get Started, I mentioned the importance of doing the research. Since it is my goal to have at least 2 years worth of food stockpiled at all times, I always wondered, how much food would I need to grow in a vegetable garden? Well, luckily, I came across an article in Mother Earth News magazine titled, A Plan for Food Self-Sufficiency, and it gave me a pretty good estimate. Now, there's no such thing as being completely 100% self-reliant. In addition to your vegetable garden, you will need to utilize other resources like farmers markets and commercial grocery stores to supplement your food needs. In this video, we're going to determine which crops you will need to grow and how much. First things first, note how many people will be living on your future homestead and make a list of all the fruits and vegetables that everyone loves to eat. I'm pretty sure you have a long list, but guess what? Get ready to start crossing some things off. Next step, location, location, location. There are certain fruits and vegetables that simply won't grow in certain areas. You will need to know which hardiness zone your future homestead will be located. At this point, I want you to separate your fall crops, also known as root crops, which are crops that grow in or either on top of the soil, like carrots, broccoli, potatoes, and most leafy green vegetables. Separate these crops from your spring and summer crops like tomatoes, strawberries, and corn, which are crops that generally grow above soil level. Next step, research if there is an heirloom seed variety for each item on your list and if that particular seed will grow in your hardiness zone. Baker Creek is a well-known supplier of heirloom seeds. Growing with heirloom seeds is a personal preference. One major downfall of growing with genetically modified seeds, which are generally found in big box stores like Lowe's and Walmart, is that the seeds from your harvest will be completely worthless. You will have to buy brand new seeds every year, and that's how they get you. The seeds from heirloom fruits and vegetables can be saved and used for the next growing season. This book is a staple among gardeners and homesteaders alike. Even if your favorite fruits and vegetables are not typically suited for your hardiness zone, it's okay, not all is lost. You can try your hand at growing them in a greenhouse or a hoop house where you will be able to have the ability to control the temperature and environment. When it comes to growing your own food, you mainly learn through trial and error. Next step. Determine which crops on your list will be beneficial to buy versus grow. For instance, I have grown accustomed to eating fresh tomatoes and cannot go back to eating commercially canned tomatoes. Therefore, growing tomatoes on my future homestead is a must. Now, I love lentils. However, I don't think it will be beneficial to grow lentils because 1, it's a fairly small bean, and 2, I'm pretty sure I could buy and dry can enough lentils that will last me for a very long time. Dried goods like rice, beans, and flour can have the shelf life of up to 20 years by using the dry canning food saving method. Another thing to consider is if the fruits and vegetables on your list will meet your family's nutritional and dietary needs. Okay, so now you have determined what you're going to grow in your future homestead, so let's get an idea of how much you will need to grow. For the items on your list, you will need to know the average yield for each crop. These are the references the magazine article used. For example, a 100 square foot garden space would yield only 14 pounds of okra, whereas that same space will yield a whopping 66 pounds of tomatoes. As you can see, this is a big difference. In the article, it measured a serving size as being half a cup. Now this kind of made me giggle. Now I'm from the South and we tend to be heavy-handed when it comes to fixing a plate of food. Big Mama does not measure anything and she ain't never put a half a cup of anything on your plate. The lightest thing on your plate was the fork. So let's just say I had to tweak the numbers a little bit. So we're going to say a southern size serving of food is equal to 1 cup. So let's compare the food needs of a single person versus a family of 4 using a 100 square foot garden space for each crop. The average yield for okra is 14 pounds, which is equal to approximately 35 total 1 cup servings. 1 serving per day will last a single person for approximately 5 weeks. This would last a family of 4 for approximately 1 week. The average yield for tomatoes is 66 pounds. At 75 total servings, it will last a single person 10 weeks and a family of 4 for 2.5 weeks. Lentils, on average, only yield 4 pounds in a 100 square foot garden space. 27 servings will last a single person less than 4 weeks and a family of 4 for less than a week. Irish potatoes yield an amazing 72 pounds. 100 total servings will last a single person 14 weeks and a family of 4 for 3.5 weeks. Knowing how much certain crops yield will help you with planning for the size of your vegetable garden. With these 4 crops, we used a total of 400 square foot garden space. 1 acre of land is equal to 43,560 square feet. With the right planning, a vegetable garden on a 1 acre homestead can sustain a family of 4. Now, since you're going to be knee-deep in tomatoes, it is important to have a plan for food saving and storage. Canning, water bathing, freeze drying, and dehydration are examples of food saving methods, and each has a different shelf life. As you can imagine, a lot of time and effort goes into a well-stocked food pantry. Therefore, you will need to carefully monitor your pantry's temperature and humidity levels to prevent spoilage. This book is another staple among homesteaders. The beautiful thing about consciousness is that it will never force itself on you. You always have the option of going back to sleep at any time. The choice is yours. If the information in this post was able to wake up a handful of people, then my mission was accomplished. It is now your responsibility to stay awake, prepare, and continue connecting those dots. Please feel free to share this post. God bless and take care.